everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Amy and I am just going into my fourth and final year of studying law. So I thought that since I've spent 3 years at university, I am pretty well prepared to tell you guys what to expect. So I'm going to go through a full list. I've prepared a full list of things that I think that is useful to know before you go to uni. So we're going to go through friends, what to wear, what to bring, how to be successful, and then we're going to do a quick fire answering questions on questions that I got from Instagram. So I'm just going to go through them really snappy, give you guys some answers, but yeah, we're going to go through some topics and I shall give you guys a little insight into what uni's like and what you should expect, how to prepare. Let's get into it. First of all, let's talk friends. So it kind of will need you to be a little bit outgoing, which I know is really difficult for some people, so it might not be the easiest one, could actually be the hardest one for a lot of people, and particularly the most daunting. For me, I was in a city that I knew, so it made it a lot easier because I had at least some sense of familiarity and I had some people that I knew that were there. So like my boyfriend goes to the same uni as me and I knew that he was there, and like my sister had gone to the same uni, so I knew where I was going and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't know that, then I guess that could be a pretty scary part of going. However, I think that the best way to make friends is just to put yourself out there as much as you can. You have to remember that everyone is in exactly the same position as you, whether they seem a little bit more comfortable or not. So try clubs, try as many things as you can, join societies. I found societies to be a really cute way to meet people. And I was one of those people who met my best friends on literally the first day of uni. I was in a group chat of people who also studied law who were in halls, and people were saying, oh, who lives where? And Katie, one of my best friends, was like, oh, I'm in Chancellors, and I was like, oh, I'm in Chancellors, let's walk together. So we walked together and then we met. We just sat at this table with some other girls, and yeah, they have been my best friends ever since then. So me and Paige and Katie are actually going on holiday next week to Spain. So it's just one of those things that a lot of the time the people who you sit with or you'll find on the first day will be the people who you will be friends with for years, which is what worked for me, which is just, it's so cute. So yeah, that is definitely an option, just to speak to as many people as you can, try and suss out who you think you're going to get on with, join clubs. If you do any sports, then join the sports clubs, join societies. As I said, just try and put yourself out there as much as you can. And if you don't live in halls, then that's an incredible way to do it, because obviously you're not going to get the social aspect from that side, so just make sure you're putting yourself out as much as you can. Next, what to wear. I always wore really casual things. I can't remember what I wore on the first week. I would say I probably wore like jeans and a jumper or something, because I didn't want to like wear like a tracksuit. But genuinely, for the last 3 years, I have worn tracksuits to uni. I do not dress up in any way, shape or form unless I'm doing something else that day, but like nobody cares what you wear. Nobody cares what you wear. You will literally like walk in, sit down and leave. In particular in winter when you have a jacket on, like do not worry about what to wear at all. Nobody cares. Wear whatever you're comfortable in, wear what's gonna keep you warm, wear what's comfy. That's bottom line. You don't have to dress up in any way, shape or form. What to bring. So this one I feel like would have thrown me also, but I was lucky that my older sister Katie had gone to uni, and she kind of filled in the blanks for me. But obviously if you don't have an older sister, you're a first generation uni student and all of that kind of stuff, you're gonna have nobody to kind of bounce these ideas off of. So I would say bring anything you need to take notes. Now, I did a TikTok the other day about the best way to take notes, and I feel like nobody, unless you've been there, you don't really know the best way to do it. And I think that everybody's different, so you're just gonna have to figure out the best way that works for you, whether it is writing on an iPad, writing on paper, or typing. But I did like a TikTok on the way that I used to take my notes and when I was in person, because I changed when I was online. I didn't really take a huge amount of notes because I didn't really need to, but I did a TikTok on the way that I did it in first year, which is easier to explain because I showed you on my laptop. So if you want to see that, then go and check out my TikTok, because I did a full thing like explaining the whole the whole process of how I did it, just with like on the computer and like printing things out and stuff, so it makes it a lot easier just to show you than try and tell you on here. But yeah, whatever thing you're taking your notes on your laptop, if you want to have the slides up in front of you, a notepad, any of that kind of stuff, I would always bring pens just in case. Just in case something dies, just like an alternative method just in case. So that would be what I would say to bring. Also water, because those rooms can get so warm, and particularly if you're in like a 2-hour lecture, always bring water, and also always bring a snack. I always did that. I was pretty well prepared for my things when I would go, but particularly if it's 2 hours, always bring a snack, because you do get bored, you do get hungry, and it's just good to have something to have a little snack on. But other than that, you really don't need to take anything with you, any books or anything if you need to, but for the most part during lectures you're not going to have time to open a book. You'll have to do it after or before the lectures, because they are quick. Like, they're not, particularly with law lectures, you're in a room with 200 people. They're not stopping for you, they're not really asking questions. You just kind of sit there and listen, and the places for you to ask questions most of the time is in tutorials. It could be different, but that was just the kind of etiquette at in our lectures. Also, when people asked questions in lectures, everyone was like, ugh, like 1 or 2, it's not a big deal, but like the lectures are supposed to just be information, whereas the tutorials are kind of more where you get that engaging in. So if I was you, I would just read the room, see what people are doing. If people are asking questions, then go for it. But yeah, that was just the kind of thing that happened at ours, and we were like, ugh, like, be quiet, because then the lecture would go off on a tangent and then it just like derails the entire thing and everyone's just like, ugh. So yeah, read the room, see what the kind of vibe is, and I would say that's all you need to bring for lectures. It's not a big deal. Just bring whatever you need to take notes on, and that is absolutely perfect. Also, the question of MacBooks. A lot of people, I have a MacBook, but everyone asks me, do you need a MacBook for uni? The only reason I bought a MacBook is because I edit my videos on it, and all of my other devices are Apple, so I can send things to my laptop like with AirDrop, which makes it really, really easy for me. So genuinely, that's the only reason why I got a MacBook. I didn't get it deliberately for uni, because I don't think that you need a MacBook for uni. The only thing you need is something that has Word on it. You don't need a state-of-the-art model, you don't need a MacBook Pro, you don't need anything like that. You could get like a Surface Pro that's, I think they're like 400 quid, or you can even get laptops that are cheaper than that. You do not need anything that's crazy expensive. Get secondhand if you can, get just whatever you can to get something that you can type on. That's all you need, something that has Word on and you can submit your assignments. That's literally it. So don't feel pressured that you need to go and buy a £2.5 laptop, because you absolutely don't. So yeah, just anything that has Word on it is more than sufficient. And the overarching question of how to be successful, this is a big one, I think, and it's something that you will probably have to learn for yourself, just kind of getting to grips with what uni life is like, because it is different to school. I'm not gonna lie to you. To my school anyway. My school always did very well with the kind of grades that they produced and the students that they produced, but it was very, very like golden spoon feeding you the information on how to do well in the exams and stuff like that. Like, they didn't really teach you and prepare you for like independent learning like university is, particularly law. It's a very, very self-sufficient degree. They give you a little bit of information, but then they're like, you need to go off and learn it yourself and figure out the important parts. And yeah, our school didn't really prepare us for that, I would say. So it takes a bit of getting used to, just like in school the teachers care about how you do, in uni, not that they don't care, but like they will have a job if you fail. It's not the same kind of expectations on the teachers to make sure that the students pass. They will have a job whether you pass or not. So it's a lot more on you and how you prioritize your time and just kind of staying on top of things. So I would say the biggest thing that I learned probably not even in first year, but later on than that, is time management. I figured I would show you a couple of things that I do to keep on top of my time management and just make sure that I'm fully prepared. So by this point, if you've watched any of my videos on my channel, you guys know that I absolutely love to-do lists. I love planning, and that's probably why I manage to juggle so many things, because I'm very strict with myself in terms of the time that I give myself. I use lists and I use planners, so these are actually from my own small business. Absolutely zero pressure to buy from there. You can use whatever you want, but yeah, I'm very passionate about planning. I made my own business because I'm very passionate about planning, and I obviously love my own products. But yeah, as I said, it's just an example of the things that I use, and hopefully you can get a little bit of inspiration. So I use a weekly planner. Don't know if you can see that properly with the sun, but I find that this is an incredible way to kind of, what I did in my planning, I would be like, right, Monday I'm doing criminal law, Tuesday's commercial law, Wednesday's this, and then Thursday and Friday could be like the tutorial work I had to do. And I find that that was a really great way to kind of look on a Sunday night and be like, okay, this is all of the work that I've got to do, and this is when I'm going to do that, this is when I'm going to do this, this is when I'm going to do that, and then I can look at the overview of the week and say, okay, this is all of the time I've got and this is what I need to do. And then I would usually use Friday as the like overflow day, because the chances were I wasn't going to finish everything on those days, and if I did, then I had Friday off, and at the start of the semester that kind of worked, but later on when you've got assignments and stuff, I didn't typically get any days off. But yeah, the weekly planner is really great for that, so you can delegate days and just kind of see Monday to Friday, okay, this is what I need to do, and then there's like a little list at the side where you can add in if you have appointments or specific things that you need to actually tick off, and then there's a little notes section at the bottom. Now for day-to-day planning, there is nothing I will recommend more than time blocking. It is the most effective method that I have ever tried. It's what all of the big CEOs use. I swear by it. It's absolutely incredible. So you can see this here. I time block from 6 in the morning until 6:30 at night. I get up early, so I like to use it from the start, but if you don't have to. If you get up at 9, you can start it from 9 and then go to 6 p.m, whatever you want to do. And then there's priorities at the side here. Let's get that to focus. So you've got all the times down here, so you plan out your whole day. You have a little drinks tracker because hydration is key, priorities, and also notes at the bottom. So this means that in the morning, say you have 2 hours of reading to do, you say, right, from 9 until 12, or 9 until 11, sorry, if you have 2 hours to do, 9 until 11, I'm going to do my reading for this, then I'm going to work on my tutorial, then I'll have lunch, and then I'll do this after that. I've got a meeting here, I've got a lecture here, and you can look at your day and think, right, okay, perfect, I can get all of this stuff done if I stick to my schedules, and it reduces procrastination. It makes you so much more effective with the time that you actually have, and honestly, I cannot recommend it enough. It's the best method to get the most out of your days. So yeah, the ultimate listy list right here. So time blocking is your best friend for sure. And then on the days where you're kind of not so busy, we also have just normal generic to-do lists that are pretty good for just keeping on top of your tasks. If you have like kind of 4 or 5 things to do but you don't really need to time block them, then they're also great. The other thing that I would say is to keep on top of your assignment dates and just kind of keeping track of all your deadlines. On Listy we also have an exam pack which you can look at. You don't need to buy, but it'll give you an indication of the kind of things that I'm talking about. There's like deadline trackers, there is like progress things, so you can traffic light your progress for the classes, and it really keeps like the visual in your head of how you're doing for each class, and it means you can kind of keep track throughout the year to make sure that you're staying on track with your progress. And it just kind of consolidates that in my head anyway, so I know, okay, this is what I need to work on, this is a green light, so we're fine, this is amber, so it needs a little bit of tweaking, but this one is really what I need to focus on. So I find that really, really helpful. But yeah, the other thing which I think is really important to stress is making sure that you find balance while you're at uni. I think this is something that I really struggled at the start because I put so much pressure on myself to kind of do everything I needed to do all of the reading, like page by page, and just really, I really pressured myself to do as much as I could, and I think that it kind of got a wee bit overwhelming for me. I definitely had to learn the hard way that if you don't prioritise yourself, then that's the thing that's going to give. You need to make sure that you are exercising if that's what you like to do, to kind of blow off steam, or just doing things that you find relaxing. Find time for yourself, do yoga, mindfulness, journaling, whatever it is that you like to do and makes you kind of feel better and de-stress. Find time for that wherever you can. Make time for that, because yeah, something's got to give, and it will be you if you don't make sure that you have time. So yeah, that's a really, really important one. So don't forget about that, particularly if you're just about to start uni, because it's an overwhelming time and there's a lot of new things, there's a lot of learning, and I think that it does get a lot, and you need to be aware of that and be prepared to look after yourself. So let's do the quick fire. So I have the questions up from Instagram. Okay, let's go through them. How do you manage with the workload? We've been through that. Just prioritise your time, be organised and focus. I'm getting scared about not getting on with flatmates. That's a fair thing to be worried about, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. If you get there and you don't get on with them, then I mean, you can always ask to change if it's early in the semester, or you find other people that you like, you visit other flats and you can spend time with other flats. My sister Katie did that in first year. She was very late and she was with loads of boys and they were all foreign. They didn't really speak English. They didn't speak to her. She didn't want to speak to them. So she found other people and basically lived in their flat. So there are things that you can do. Just try and find other people that you do get on with and spend more time with them. How do you make friends in first year if you don't live in student accommodation? Clubs, societies, just chat to people, go out and find friends. What should I buy or take classes with me? Covered that. Prep for new semester tips, how to hit the ground running basically. You just need to, I would say, just take your time, breathe, take on as much information as you can and just kind of start out, establish a routine and stay in the routine. That's what I did. The routine for me was the biggest part. It means I knew what was coming week to week and I was prepared. Nothing ever caught me off guard. I was prepared for my assignments before I needed to be, so it meant I didn't get stressed. If you start them early, you can have like a good 5 days to read it afterwards and make sure that they're all fine, and then you don't get overwhelmed, which I think is a really big part. Scared of lectures, how formal are they? I wouldn't say lectures are formal in any way, shape or form. The uni that I went to, obviously, I don't know about like Oxbridge or anything like that, but the uni that I went to, they're not formal. Everybody is pretty much, if you're in an early morning lecture, people have rolled out their bed, like they're there with coffees and stuff because they're half asleep. Half the people don't go to the lectures because they're hungover, so absolutely don't worry about lectures. Try and go early. That's what I always did, because the biggest thing that gave me the absolute fear was walking into a lecture room that was fully like everybody was there, because you walk in and everyone stares at you naturally, because it's like a new person coming into the room. So if that worries you, which it did to me, just because it was just like, then go early, be there 5 minutes before the lecture starts and you'll walk in with everybody else, find your seat, and then it's all fine. But yeah, being late for lectures was, if I had other people with me it was fine, but on my own I was like, when will we find out about books we need to start uni? Books you'll hear about very last minute, probably after the class starts, and then you can order them, which is really irritating. It really annoyed me because I wanted to be prepared and have them all, but the lecturers are never prepared and they will not give you them on time. So look second hand. I bought my books a lot of the time second hand, or one of my friends was in the year above me at a different uni, but she did law anyway, and I got a lot of my books off Dion because she was finished with them and wasn't going to use them again. So I just bought them off Dion, or bought them off other people that I knew, or bought them second hand, and if I couldn't buy them second hand then we bought them off Amazon. But they are expensive, so if you can find any other way to buy the books that aren't, and for law you need a lot of books. A lot of other courses you don't need books at all, but for us we did need a lot of books, and it does get a lot of money. It's like a couple £100 a semester depending on how many books you need, which is a lot of money. So if you can try and find them secondhand or source them for other places, then 100% do that, because it does alleviate a lot of the cost. How to take notes in lectures, like how to do it fast enough. You just gotta be quick, to be honest with you. If you miss stuff out, ask your friends to fill in the blanks, or do the reading, because from what I've always grasped, the lecturers take the notes from the reading. So the lecturers take the reading, the notes and everything that they put on the screen from the books, because they can't rewrite the law. So yeah, if you're in doubt, go and read the book that is there, like suggested text, and you can go to that chapter and you'll probably find like verbatim what they're talking about, because they take their notes from the books. So key things to prepare. Is there any work? I wouldn't say that you'd have to do any work before you start uni. I think it's unnecessary, and everybody's going to be in the same position anyway, so you being a little ahead is not going to make any difference. What to expect from first year for week 1? Probably not a lot, to be honest with you. Our week 1 was all introduction things, learning kind of where to go, what's expected of you, what's going to happen, what the course is going to be like, and a lot of the time they do like little meet things where you can do like little workshops or stuff like that, but I imagine they will tell you what you need to do for first week. This is the thing, everybody's in the same position, so the chances are if you don't know information, other people don't as well, so do not panic about it. How to know what's on for freshers and classes, they'll tell you. I'm starting a law degree in October and I feel like I'll be way out of my depth. Did you feel this way? Yeah, I think most people do, because it's unknown, you don't know what's happening, you don't know how to prepare. It's just change and it's hard for everybody, and yeah, you just kind of have to persevere. There's not really any other way around it, to be honest with you. I struggled to start with, but you get used to it. It's just like anything that's a big change and a big kind of step. You just have to suck it up and get on with it. But it does get easier, I promise you, after the first year. Like one of our family friends she started first year last year, and she was exactly the same, and I said exactly the same to her. I was like, look, it sucks to start with because you don't know what's going on. They don't help you as much as you would like them to help you, but that's the way it works, and you will be absolutely fine, I promise you. But if there's ever anything you want to know, my inbox is always open. If there's anything I would be able to help you with, then please drop me a message. There's been loads of people over the last couple of years, particularly they've gone to Strath as well, and they're like, I don't know what to do with this, did you do this? And I'm like, yeah, and this is how I figured it out, so here you go. Like, I'm always here. If you have any questions about anything, please do not even hesitate to either comment on one of my videos. I reply to every single comment I get, or send me a message on Instagram. I always reply, so please do not feel like you are burdening me. I was in your position once, and I will gladly help if there's any advice I can offer. Was second year a lot more intense than first year? I didn't find that. I found probably I don't even really know. I think first year was probably more intense for me because I didn't know what I was doing. So it was a lot harder because I was trying to figure out how they wanted me to answer the questions. I was trying to figure out everything at once, and I didn't know what I was doing. Whereas second year, I kind of understood a lot more about what they expected from me. I kind of understood a lot more about how to do the assignments. The workload can be a little bit more, but the workload gets bigger every year. So like I had a class last year where one of the weekly readings was 200 pages of a book. Like, it gets worse every year, so you just kind of have to be prepared for that. But the more capable you get, the more work you get, essentially. So the later on in uni you get, the more you have to do, which is natural because you're better at it, so you do it quicker. Then you get to grips with how they write, how to interpret the books, how to read what's important, how to not read what's not important, skip through that, find what's actually the bit that you need to read. So yeah, that is what I think. So that's probably about 25 minutes worth of me just babbling on, so I think we will call it a day. But I hope that's helpful. If there's anything else that you would like to know, whether it's law related or just uni in general, then please drop me a comment or drop me a message. I would be happy to share, at least if it's in the comments here, then other people can see it, because I imagine if one person has a question, other people also have the same question. So if there's anything you would like to know about anything to do with uni, then please drop me a comment. And as always, please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. We are just about to start all of the uni content again, which I'm so excited about. We're doing dissertations and everything, and back to in-person teaching this year, which is a big change for me also. So be sure to stick around for that, you don't want to miss it. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. So if you made it to the end of this video, then drop me a little pencil emoji. I love to know who's made it to the ends of my videos, and I like to chat with you in the comments. So if you did, drop a little pencil and yeah, we can chat. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I love you guys so much. Bye!